Hello! Welcome back to my channel, or most likely, welcome! Today I'm going to take you through a tutorial of how to take in some shorts so they look nice and neat and don't have any bulky darts or anything like that, because you're better than that. I have also made a worksheet to help you through this tutorial so you don't miss out on any steps, and that will be available on my Patreon, which is linked in the description. Please consider supporting me on there because it really does help and will just allow me to keep these tutorials free. Before we get started, we have to do a fit check as usual because this is a sustainable fashion channel. And cherishing your clothing is central to sustainable fashion. Here we have from the bottom up, boots that I found a few years ago on a shopping trip with my mum. I had wanted some just like this for years, so I was so chuffed when I finally found them. A dress I bought when I was 18, so we'll be celebrating our 6th year together this year. A shirt that I bought from a charity shop. Earrings that were my grandma's, and a necklace that I got for my 16th birthday. Can we also take a moment to appreciate my eyeshadow? Looks a bit crusty now because I put it on hours ago to go out for my friend's birthday, and then I came back to the office to film this tutorial for you, and it's now 2 AM. Because that's how much I love you. What you will need: a sewing machine that does buttonholes, tape of some kind, ruler, fabric pen or a pencil, iron, fabric scissors, pins, thread the same colour as that originally used in the shorts, and a seam ripper. Instructions: buy a thread that is the same colour as the thread used on the shorts. I recommend the extra strong. And for the love of all that is holy, don't try to colour match from memory like I did. Oh god. Oh god, it's all falling apart. Bring them with you because the tiniest colour difference will be very obvious, and if you're going to go to all this trouble to make your shorts look good, they might as well actually, you know, look good. If you're between colours, go for the dark one. Try on the shorts to get an indication of how much you want to take in, and make sure that you're relaxed and breathing out. Also bear in mind that you actually want them to be comfortable when you sat down, and going off what I pinched, it probably looks like I should take in about 12 centimetres when in reality I actually only took in about 7. Unpick the leather label thing and the belt loops. Place them to the side for later. Now unpick the waistband and put that to the side too. This next bit is so important, and if you don't do it, it's going to cause you a hell of a lot of stress and hassle. Once you've removed the waistband, there is nothing to stop the zip from coming off its tracks at the top.
I've seen this. I've done this. You don't want this.
Honestly, I had to take apart the whole front just to get the zip back on. It was a right ball ache. So to stop this, you're going to tape over the top of the zip track on both sides. Have a look at your shorts for places to take in. I had studs at the sides, so there wasn't enough space to take them in enough there without losing the detailing, which I didn't want to do. So I decided to take them in at the back first and then at the sides if I really needed to. I actually ended up only taking them in at the back because they fit well but were still comfortable with wiggle room. Turn the shorts inside out. Try them on. With the fabric pen, mark roughly how much you want taking in and mainly how far down you want it to go. Unpick the back of the shorts down to the point you marked. Let's have a quick look at what the seam looks like on a denim item because it's not quite the same as other garments. I presume this is because denim items tend to go through a lot more wear and tear and have virtually no stretch in them. Plus denim frays like a mother, so it needs more reinforcement. On one side you have a seam allowance of around 1 centimetre, which will fold under, and another centimetre that will become the top of the seam that you'll be able to see the stitching on, so the bit you see from the outside. On the opposite side you will have a seam allowance of 2 centimetres. The first centimetre will fold up so it can hook into the seam allowance on the other side, and then the second centimetre is the bit that you sew it all together on the underneath so it won't be seen. Now it's all unpicked, iron the seam allowance flat. I wanted to take in as much as possible with the back with it still looking good, i.e. pockets not touching and there still being enough space for the double stitched seam. So on the 2 centimetre seam allowance side I marked 1 centimetre away from the pockets and then 2 centimetres for the seam allowance. I actually f***ed this bit up, so do as I say, not as I do. God, that just rolled off the tongue. I don't even have kids yet and I've got the parenting essentials down! And I am so cringy that I cringe at myself, which always helps. On the side that ends up on top, I should have marked 1 centimetre away from the pockets and then 1 centimetre for the seam to go on top, and then 1 centimetre for the seam that folds under. But I didn't, so I had to fiddle it at the end. Once you've marked where your new seam allowance ends near the pockets, take a ruler and draw a diagonal line from the bottom marking through the new seam allowance points up to the top, then cut off the excess. Now zigzag stitch to prevent fraying. Now fold and iron under the 1 centimetre seam allowance on the top side. Then fold and iron over the first 1 centimetre seam allowance on the bottom side. Hook them together, then pin them in place. Set your stitch length to the longest your machine will go. Then start sewing your first line 1/2 centimetre from the edge until it joins up with the original stitching at the bottom. Reverse stitch over it to secure. Then sew your second line about 1 centimetre away from the first. Once you've sewn up the back, try them on, see how they fit, and then you can do the sides the same way if you need to. But remember, you still want them to be comfortable if you're sat down or relaxed or breathing out or just eaten. Or if you're like me and your weight fluctuates quite a lot, you still want them to fit. So proceed with caution because once you've cut it off, it's not coming back. Unlike your ex-boyfriend. Once you're happy with the amount that's been taken in, trim off the fluffy bits, zigzag stitch around the top to stop it from fraying, pin on the waistband to work out how much needs chopping off, leave about 1 centimetre to tuck in, zigzag stitch the end, tuck it in and iron it flat. Make a mark where you want the buttonhole to be. I don't know how your buttonhole foot works, but with mine you have to put in the button to set the size, so find a button or a coin that is a similar size to the button on the shorts. Let the machine work its magic, cut open the hole and you're done. Pin on the waistband properly, sew it on, then sew back on the leather label. And finally sew back on the belt loops. There'll probably be marks in the denim where they were before, so use them as guides. If not, position them equal distances around the waist. After that, you're all done. I'm not making any promises about what the next video is going to be this time because you probably realised by now that I am a mess. It could be a tutorial on how to turn a skirt into a harness, or a sustainable PR unboxing, or a tutorial on how to find your personal style, or a tutorial on how to sew something. Anything really. If you want to find me on social media, you can find me at emily.j.muir on TikTok and Instagram. Hopefully this was clear, and if you found it useful, I would really appreciate a like and a comment to help boost the video in the algorithm. And if you want to see more of my videos or help support my page, please subscribe and click the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Another way of supporting my channel and my work is by becoming a Patreon, and you can find that by clicking the link in my bio description. I do that every time. And I will use the money to buy myself a new brain. As I mentioned, I have a YouTube tier where you get all the worksheets to... The lights have gone out again. The lights are literally like, dude, it's nearly 3 AM. Go home. What was I saying? Anyway, yeah, you get the worksheets all for free in addition to my eternal gratitude. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.